There's something magical in the smallest moments we share, the ones that, at first glance, might seem insignificant, but somehow stitch themselves into the very fabric of our love. Take our mornings together, for instance. You know the ritual. I boil the water, you choose the tea. You always pick something with a hint of jasmine or honey. As the kettle hums, steam curling toward the ceiling, I watch you cradle the mug between your hands. The warmth seeps into your palms, and in that quiet exhale, I see all the comfort and calm you bring into my life. We sit across from each other at our tiny kitchen table. Just two mismatched chairs, a vase of fresh flowers you always insist on buying, and a newspaper folded to your favorite crossword puzzle. You take your first sip, eyes closing as the gentle flavor arrives, and you smile. I know that smile so well. It's the one that says, everything's right in this moment. And in that moment, so am I. It's in the way you reach for the sugar jar with fingertips dusted in flour because I insisted on making pancakes yesterday. You offer me a taste test sliver of batter, and I take it, not just for the sweetness, but because I want to steal that shared laugh when it sticks to the roof of your mouth. Those giggles echo louder than any grand gesture ever could, because they remind me that joy lives in the simplest of pleasures. Rainy afternoons are another chapter in our story of little things, when the sky turns slate grey and droplets drum against our window panes. You bring our favorite blanket down from the shelf. You toss it over my shoulders and beckon me to the couch. We settle in with a stack of old records, vinyl crackling as you lower the needle. I rest my head on your shoulder, and you wrap your arm around me, drawing me close. The patter of rain becomes our soundtrack, the world outside a distant memory. In those cozy pauses, I find the deepest kind of love, the kind that doesn't need words, only presence. Do you remember the time we decided to make tea and watch that documentary about galaxies? We expected to learn about distant stars, but what we discovered was how you tilt your head when you're curious, your eyes lighting up as you recite fascinating facts. I watched you there, hands wrapped around your teacup, leaning into wonder, and I realized that falling in love with your mind was as easy as falling for your smile. You made the cosmos feel intimate, as if every supernova and spiral arm were part of our private conversation. And then there are those moments when you lean across the table during dinner, fork paused in midair to brush a crumb from my lip. A simple gesture, yes, but one that speaks volumes. I see you and you care. It reminds me how intimately we've learned each other's habits. I know not to reach first for the salt because you like the food's natural flavor. You know I prefer my steak medium rare and that my coffee tastes best with a dash of cream. We've built a language in these tiny accommodations, one that says, I pay attention, I love you. It's the afternoon strolls, too. We wander down tree-lined streets, hands brushing each other's fingertips, stopping only to admire a burst of wildflowers by the curb. You tilt your chin upward when a breeze carries petals across our path. You catch one on your palm, study its delicate veins, and then press it gently into my hand. In that single act, you're offering me moments of beauty wrapped in laughter, and some evenings, when the world outside demands too much attention, we turn on our favorite sitcom, something silly and familiar, and quote lines back and forth, slapping our knees until tears gather in our eyes. We pause for tea breaks, even then, hot mugs held between scenes, because without our tea ritual, it wouldn't feel like us. And I love that we've turned even a TV marathon into something uniquely ours. There's a magic in our bedtime routine, too. You slip into the room with a steaming mug of chamomile tea, your own invention, a blend you've perfected over months. You rest it on the nightstand and slip beneath the covers beside me. You draw me close, hand tucked under my neck, and lean in to kiss my temple. That gentle kiss is the punctuation on our day, a way of saying I'm here and thank you for today. It lulls me into a peacefulness I never knew I needed, and I drift off believing in the sweetness of tomorrow. It's in the little adventures as well. On lazy Sundays, we explore our neighborhood farmer's market, stopping at the honey stall where the beekeeper hands you samples with a grin. You close your eyes to taste the floral notes, then laugh when a bee buzzes too close, and I catch your hand to steer you away. We leave with jars of honey and memories of spontaneous fun etched against the weekend sky. And let's not forget the art of letter writing. Every now and then, instead of a text, you slip me a handwritten note, folded neatly in your precise cursive, tucked into my coat pocket. It might say something as simple as, "Thank you for making me coffee this morning," or "You look so happy dancing in the kitchen." On those days, I find your note in the middle of a hectic afternoon, and I stop everything to read it, cherishing your words as though they were the most precious gift. These everyday moments, our shared cup of tea, rainy day cuddles, late night sitcoms, surprising oats, kitchen dance-offs, they're the threads that weave the tapestry of our love. They aren't dramatic or flashy. They don't need confetti or fireworks. They're quiet, unassuming, and utterly vital, because it's in these simple acts that we choose each other again and again. I want you to know that I see them all. I see the care you take in pouring my tea, the way your brow furrows when you're choosing a biscuit, the sigh you let go when you first step into our cozy home after a long day. I see how you adjust the thermostat without me asking, making sure I'm comfortable. I see how you hum softly while doing the dishes, and how you pause to let me help, even when you could do it faster on your own. I see the way your eyes soften when you catch mine across the room. In a world that often values grand statements, I believe most deeply in the quiet consistency of our daily rituals. They remind me that love isn't just a feeling reserved for special occasions. It's a practice, exercised in every small gesture of kindness, every shared laugh, every silent "I'm here with you." It's your hand brushing mine as we pass each other in the hallway. It's the way you offer me your jacket when the night air chills. It's the way you pause the show so I can grab my tea, never thinking twice. These are the moments I'll carry with me long after the big milestones fade. They ground me and give context to the grand narrative of our life together. Because at the end of the day, love in the little things is love in its purest form, intentional, attentive, and enduring. So here's my promise to you. I will never overlook these tiny treasures. I will celebrate our little rituals as fervently as I would a roaring applause. I will cherish every shared sip, every cozy embrace, every whispered joke, because in those moments, you remind me that love is built one precious instant at a time, and I'm grateful for each one we share. Thank you for every little thing. I love you in every sip, every sigh, and every heartbeat in between.